Cage the Hedgehog was a struggling Hollywood action movie star who wanted to get his fame back, originally entering the Mobius Combat Tournament to display his fighting skills and prove himself to skeptical movie critics and the movie viewing public, who believed Cage was nothing more than an actor who relied too much on stunts and camera work and was not a real proficient fighter. Eventually, Cage becomes one of the most important defenders of Mobius. Copyright Bob Wulff 2017, please no steal.
Yeah, that cost me $60. Sonic Forces sucks. The only redeeming quality is its character customization. Personally, I'm having a hard time finding a worse 3D Sonic game. It's that bad. It's not just because it's glitchy, because it is. Its biggest offense, which I think is worse, is that it feels bad. The core game mechanics required for gameplay aren't fun. It feels like the game is preventing you from doing what you want instead of helping you. Whereas Sonic 06 is a buggy mess, Sonic Forces feels intentionally broken. There's no way they considered these poor mechanics passable early in development. They knew they were farting out a bad game from the start. I hold Sonic Adventure 2 in high regard. I called that the gold standard for a modern 3D Sonic game. The biggest problem with that game was the camera, but that's something that a lot of 3D games suffered from at the time. Other people cite Sonic Colors and Sonic Generation as the standard. I decided I needed to do a little more research, so I spent the weekend playing both. I wanted to see what Sonic Forces tried to learn from these games and where it went totally wrong. I learned some surprising things. First off, Colors isn't as great as everybody says it is. It's great because before that, there was a string of terrible 3D Sonic games. So fans were looking for pretty much anything that would bring Sonic back. Right off the bat, even though this is a 7-year-old game, 7! It already feels way better than Sonic Forces. That is sad. I'm using a goddamn Wiimote, and everything is already so much more responsive. The homing attack, which has become a Sonic staple since Adventure, works 100% of the time. In Forces, it works maybe 40% of the time, and that's not even an exaggeration. This shouldn't be something to give kudos over. It's to be expected that a mechanic works when it's supposed to, 100% of the time. Another issue I have with Sonic Forces is the quick step. Once 3D Sonic gains enough speed, you cannot move sideways by using the thumbstick. You have to use the bumpers. It's better in Colors in that you use the same input no matter how fast you're going, but you tap the direction you want instead of holding it. At least you're using the same button to move sideways, but it still forces you to do something different. In Forces, you're using a completely different set of buttons to move once you get over a certain speed. That is unacceptable. It makes things way too confusing. I've learned that a lot of Sonic fans love boost mechanics. I think they were implemented as a way to make Sonic's speed more interesting. There are other ways to do that. It's an unnecessary fix. Just make a good and interesting level. I don't think it really adds anything important to Colors. The boost in Sonic Colors is not a reward system either. They designed the game to have these large stretches of map that are specifically tailored for the boost mechanic. And by the time you get to these parts, you will almost always have your boost meter filled up. And if you don't, well, it's not even a problem. You're just slower. It doesn't feel like a punishment. And good luck trying to use the boost in any other part of the game. I think Colors is a step up from Forces, which is already sad. The game is 7 years old. 7! But Colors is far from perfect. Then I replayed Generations. Oh boy! This game is exactly what a modern 3D Sonic game should be. The homing attack feels really good. You can dash in midair if you need a fast start. The boost mechanics are best used when in a bind, not just to speed past on-rails sections. That means they're an actual, useful mechanic. Most importantly to me, you can quick step using the bumper or just slowly move the thumbstick sideways. You can do either of these at any time, regardless of speed. The quick step feels like an extension of your abilities, not something that's forced on you. This puts way more control in your hands. This is by far the best handling of modern Sonic in a 3D Sonic game. When I make a mistake, I accept that it's my fault and not the game's. Although the game is not without its quirks. I still think the way Adventure handles its rings is way better. You know, the way every Sonic game before that handles its rings, the normal way. Generations also desperately needs a spin dash button. The boost should not replace it, but be used alongside it. Other than those very minor issues, I have no problem with Sonic Generations being the gold standard for a modern 3D Sonic game, which is still sad because that game came out 6 years ago. 6! Forces has no excuse. Even the classic Sonic levels are a step backwards. Somehow they took control away from you. Isn't this the same engine? When you jump off a bounce pad in any playstyle, you have very little, if any, control of your trajectory. The biggest offenses this game has are the homing attack and the quick step. It just baffles me how they have everything there laid out for them. And where any other game company would cherry pick the good and leave out the bad, Sonic Team somehow took the bad and made it worse. The custom hero levels are also very, very bad for a lot of the same reasons, but at least there is a custom hero. This is the only innovation that I admire about Sonic Forces. It feels good to collect accessories and customize my OC, and I'm sure the greater Sonic fan base feels the same way. We all love creating our own fanfic, and now we can play as that fanfic.
Gray the Hedgehog was a former Resistance member in 1995 and Knuckles' most loyal soldier, who was supposedly killed during a fistfight in a minefield with Sonic in 1999. His body was recovered by Shadow, who fitted him with a prototype exoskeleton in order to use him as a test. The tests also placed him under severe pain, which resulted in him being drugged for several months while experimenting on him. After escaping and killing Dr. Eggman's clone in 2003, he would act as the first cyborg hedgehog throughout Knuckles' Resistance Revolt in 2005. Princess Sally Acorn has heard stories about the project, although she didn't actually think they were true until Sonic fought against Gray the Hedgehog. Copyright Bob Wulff, 2017, all rights reserved.
$126. What do you guys think about Sonic Forces and all the other games before it? How could it have learned from previous games to be better? I knew it was going to be bad, but holy crap, I was not expecting this. I feel like personally offended that they think that this game was acceptable to release. I'm getting there. I'm getting to that edge of the fandom where it's like it's too much. I'm too emotionally involved now. Anyway, leave it in the comments below. Add me on Twitter. All this other social media garbage, guys. Every single one of our videos now will be releasing on Twitch first. So every Tuesday at 10 a.m., Wednesday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. This is all Eastern. We can all watch these videos together on Twitch, and I will talk to you guys, answer any questions or comments there live immediately after the show. Come there, hang out. It's pretty intimate right now. Maybe every once in a while I'll play a game like today. Who knows? Maybe I'm playing Sonic Forces right now. So follow us over on Twitch for more of that. Don't forget about the Mario t-shirt campaign. That's how we here in New York say Mario. And also, I'm going to put this shirt back up for the holidays. So go to our store down below. This was like a limited thing that like almost nobody bought. And now you can get it. This coming Sunday, I'm playing Rocket League with sponsors. So if you sponsor us a YouTube game, you can play Rocket League with us on the Switch. The week after that, I have to play Mario plus Rabbids. Screw you guys. As always, the most important things you can do is subscribe and share this video with a friend who is as adamant about Sonic as I am. Anyway, thank you guys very much. Have yourselves a very good week.